Hi, I'm Dave, and this is the Carve Tools channel. In this video, I show how I make a carrier board for a project to be carved with my Carvewright CNC router. Today I was working on a Carvewright project that will be carved into oak lumber. The lumber is 7 1/8 inches wide and 24 inches in length. Now, I will be carving 23 inches of the 24-inch length, so to stay under the rollers, I will need a carrier board. Looking through my rack of carrier boards, I don't have one this size, and I know that many Carvewright users use a universal carrier board, but I still like these small ones. This is one of my carrier boards for a 1x6 by 24 inch project. It has 3.5 inch overhangs on each end. This allows a project to stay under the rollers. I need one similar for today's project that is 7 1/4 inches wide, 24 inches long, and 3/4 inch thick. I often use Baltic birch or birch plywood for carrier boards because it is a flat material. When using a birch plywood carrier, it has been my experience that the track and roller error does not occur. The filler ends need to be the same thickness as the board being carved, which is 3/4 inch in this case. So what if you don't have any 3/4 inch material available for fillers? Now, I could always use the 22/32 birch and run the project board through the thickness planer, make it the same thickness, but I want to use the full 3/4 inch thickness for this project. My solution today is I'm going to place 1/16 inch shims under the fillers. You can get shims from any of these, and today I will get shims from Rockler. So I turn pages until I get to 1/16 inch. I will try this one and see how it fits. This will make up the 1/16 inch gap, and this will work perfectly once the filler is screwed down. I cannot tell you how many times I have done this to fill gaps. I use some masking tape to keep the shim stacked together. I place the filler over the pages. This is one of my favorite knives from Olfa. It's stainless steel, and these knives are commonly used for graphic and sign making. It has replaceable snap-off blades, and there's a link in the video description if you're interested. And as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. These are also available at Home Depot. Using the filler block as a template, I cut out the shim stack, and they will be placed between the filler block and the carrier board. I like to use 1 1/4 inch Kreg screws to mount the fillers. Here I use a 3/8 wood bit to make the countersink holes so the screw head will clear the traction belts. I drive in the screws. Both filler blocks and shims are screwed down. Normally I would tape the project boards in place, but since carving most of the width, screws will make it more secure. Here I make a mark on the bottom of the carrier as to where the project board ends are located. There will only be a 1/2 inch on each end that is not carved, so the screw needs to be in this area. Here I make a mark where the screw should be placed. Once again, I make a small countersink with a 3/8 bit. I use 1-inch Kreg screws, and if correctly positioned, it will not be in the carve region. The last thing you want to do is break a carving bit. Both filler pieces are shimmed and screwed in place. So now I need to cut the carrier board flush with the filler block. One last important thing, add blue tape so the tracking encoder will not slip. The board has been loaded and it's measuring. Here I set the locking lever. The carve region is a 1/2 inch from each end of the board, and the carving depth is going to be a 1/4 inch. That's why I use a short screw here. It's not a good feeling when a carving bit gets broken. The dust collector automatically powers up. Using a dust collector will help eliminate many mechanical issues with your Carvewright. I will check back in a couple of hours and see the carve project. 2 hours later, the project has completed. It turned out as expected. This is the area contacting the front rollers, and you can see it's not very much. So I guess a universal carrier board would allow more contact with the rollers. This method has proven to work for my carvings over the past 13 years. With carrier board shims made with a material that used to be wood. To create the look I wanted, I cut off the edges to expose the carve regions. And here's the finished project. The Carvewright CNC is just one tool to turn your imagination into reality. I hope this may have been helpful, and if it was, I would love to hear your comments. And please subscribe to the Carve Tools channel. I'm Dave, this is the Carve Tools channel. Thanks for watching, have a great day.